This video is for you if you are a coach that is helping your clients return to work after a period of burnout-related absence. So they may have been off for 3, 6, 9, 12 months. Been off for a long period of time. There is going to be apprehension about that return in the first place. And your role as coach might be to help them transition and return back into work as smoothly and as easy and as safely and calmly as possible. You might find the organisation is paying for this. The organisation is, say you've only got 3 months or 3 sessions or 6 months or 6 sessions. This is all we're going to pay for. And if you are a coach that has packages that are 3 months or 6 months and it's a set time of an hour or an hour and a half for each session, the first thing that I want you to do when you have those initial conversations with your clients is really understand and appreciate whether your current timing and your current timeframes, your current packages are going to be suitable for this particular client. Over 12 years, I've coached over 700 leaders through burnout. A lot of those I have coached back into the workplace, maybe not on a permanent basis, but I've coached them back into the workplace, and that sometimes there needs to be some modifications. Maybe you're meeting with them weekly for a period in shorter sessions to just give them some additional support once they get back into the workplace, or maybe that's what you're doing to prepare them before they get back into the workplace. So I want you to consider firstly whether shorter and more frequent sessions are going to be more effective, more safe, more supportive for this particular client. We also need to understand that in a lot of cases, the organisation itself is not going to fully understand burnout. Most leaders, most managers, most HR teams do not understand the ongoing, in some cases chronic and lifelong impact that burnout has on individuals. And regardless of how long that client has been off for, it is highly likely that the organisation is going to assume they're ready to come back to work and therefore they must be okay. But the biggest assumption is very often that it's just like normal stress, right? And if you remove the normal stress, take that out the way, the client will then be fine again, right? They should be back at work. They should be able to do everything that they need to do. This should be perfect for them. They're now back. Let's kind of go. A lot of clients, when they are in that return to work phase, when they're having to go back to work, they don't feel ready to be going back to work. They might be returning because the money's running out. They've already been eating into savings. Company sick pay's been exhausted. They feel like they've been off for long enough and it's time to get back, but that doesn't mean that they feel 100% ready and or able to be going back to work in the first place. That might be something that needs exploring. You'll also want to know, at least your client will want to know, what that return to work support looks like from the organisation perspective. It's not good enough that the organisation just says, well, you've got a coach and that's everything that needs to happen. What do check-ins look like with managers, with leaders, with HR? Do occupational health need to get involved? Is there additional counselling or coaching or therapy? Are there job amendments that need to take place? Are there reduced hours that need to start off in the first place? Is there a phased return that can be managed? What is that organisation going to look like? And what is the support going to look like for that person going back in addition to the coaching that you are providing with them, for them, and supporting them back in? I think it's also important for your client to know what the organisation, what has changed within the organisation since they've been off. Because there's going to be part of them that wants it to be the same because then it's familiar and they know what they're walking into. But there's also going to be part of them that doesn't want it to be the same. They're going to want it to be utterly and totally transformed because of X, Y, and Z reasons that got them to burnout in the first place, right? So there's going to be part of them that wants that familiarity. There's going to be part of them that wants things to be totally and utterly transformed. And it's going to be likely that very, very quickly, maybe even within that first week, they realise that not enough has changed. They realise that actually it's worse than they remember it being. Or it may be that it has changed and now they're struggling to find their place in there again. They don't quite know where they fit. They don't quite know where they belong anymore. They don't quite know where their role is. I've also seen where some clients have gone back in, and there has been a phased return to work where they've been given some project work. Their job, their role, their hours have been altered, and it doesn't give them enough drive. It doesn't give them enough excitement. It doesn't give them enough to keep them focused and able and willing when they get back to work. And then they're kind of thinking, well, I don't even know what I'm here for. I'm not adding any value. I'm not doing anything. So that balance is going to be difficult to find for a lot of people going back in. And again, some of that balance will be even more difficult depending on how long they have been off work for. So as their coach, how do you firstly modify those sessions? How do you ensure that your client has got all of the support that they need from you outside of the workplace, but also from their organisation when they get back in? And helping the client to really understand what do they want to know? What are they going to want to feel within that first week to feel safe and able enough to return back? So working with them around, like, what do you want from your first week? How do you want to feel? What do you want to know? What do you want answers to? What support do you think you need? Again, because of the impact that burnout has on the body and the brain, or on our cognitive thinking, your client may not know what they want to know or what they want to feel or what answers they might need. So again, the things that I've talked about in this video already, right? What does the support look like? What does the role look like? What do the hours look like? What has changed or not within the organisation? What role or what tasks are they returning into, and for what period? How often are you going to be supporting them before they go back to work, and when they have returned to work? Is there an opportunity for those sessions to be extended if it's needed? But what does that entire support ecosystem look like for that client when they return to work? What also is going to be really useful to include in your coaching is, what is the client going to be doing differently for themselves when they go back to work? How are they going to ensure that they don't behave, think, act, work in the same way as they were doing pre-burnout? So the organisation side, what does that look like for them? The coaching side, what does that look like for them? And then their personal roles and responsibilities to ensure that that return to work is as safe and as seamless and as effective as possible. Get those three things right, and your client can thrive as long as the organisation is right and they are in a place where they want to stay. But get those things right, and your client is going to be able to thrive when they get back into the world of work. Find out if you are fully equipped to be able to coach clients at burnout. I'll pop the link below. As I said, please do give this a like and subscribe. It definitely helps with the growth of the channel and ensuring that as coaches, we're able to ensure that coaching is safe for burnout. So do please do all of that. I will see you in the next video. Take care for now.